Hi, Coach. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Excellent. Welcome to HSBN Media Days, Coach. Please introduce yourself and the players you have here today.
I'm Keith Seal, the new head coach at Forest Hill High School. This is Alex Seal, will be my starting left fielder at the high school. And this is Jean-Pierre Chavez, who's starting shortstop, one of my best pitchers.
Excellent. Well, welcome. So, Coach, you're new this year. Tell us about your coaching background.
Well, I've been coaching high-level travel baseball for over 10 years. Took a couple of teams, turned them into some of the best teams in the country. I've been on the Forest Hill staff. This will be my 5th year, and this will be my first year as a head coach at Forest Hill. So, coached a lot of baseball games in the travel world over the past 10 years.
Excellent. And this season, you have a lot of starters returning, including 5 seniors, also 8 new players that seem to fit the right needs. How is that roster shaping up? Tell us about.
Unfortunately, we're really thin. We do have a good amount of returners, and I do have some quality players pretty much in every spot. My pitching staff's a little thicker than it usually is, but I think we only have 12 true varsity-only players, which some of the JV guys will fill in for us as well. But so we're real thin. But I think we're having a quality team. We'll put a good product on the field as long as everyone stays healthy.
Excellent. And there's a lot of pitching depth. Is there an established plan on how to split those innings, or are you guys still working on to set the roles in the position?
Well, unfortunately, today was our first scrimmage due to the weather. So
Right.
even this morning, some things probably changed with the pitching staff and the rotation. Some of the guys I thought that would I'd pair up or would be starters look like more maybe of relievers. But so we're still coming along. We'll have to figure that out as we go. We've got a couple weeks.
And Coach, since this is your first year, new traditions you're starting, short and long-term goals. Tell us a little bit about that.
As far as traditions, since I've been in the program, I've started a few traditions already. One of the things I will say, I was also in the military, so we've taken some of our circuit training and some of my old military drills and things that we've taken into account there. I'm a godly man, so we do a lot. We pray every day and do put God first. Started doing that. What was the other part of the question?
That's about new traditions and then short and long-term goals.
So short-term goals, I'd obviously like to make the playoffs as soon as possible. So hopefully, we're actually in a new district this year. We're moving into the 5A district, which has or the 6A, which has Dwyer, the state champions, unfortunately. But we've been in the district with Park Vista and St. Alicia's and some of those guys for a good period of time. We haven't made the playoffs in a while. So for short-term goals, like to make the playoffs. Long-term goals, just establishing a program, getting more players, and becoming a permanent fixture in the playoffs, a permanent fixture, and then being able to compete in the playoffs, and hopefully get down the road a little further than we have in the past.
Right. And from the player's perspective, you have a new coach this year, but he's been part of the program before. So tell me about what the chemistry of the team is now with your new coach.
He is. You go.
You go. How's it been so far with your new coach?
Well, he pushes us a lot, so it works us very well. And
Is he inspiring you guys to do better? Is he
pushes us a lot.
Okay. Bringing in new
just
techniques?
So we can beat a certain team. There's a certain team out there we want to get because we lost to them last year in playoffs, and we want to get them this year. So he's pushing us just
to get that better edge.
He's like establishing a new mindset in everybody. Years past, it's been more relaxed and nobody's been pushing us as much. And he's been on JV, so he coached both of us. And just him being the head coach now, everybody's getting to experience it. So that's cool.
And how are you helping him to inspire those younger players on your team?
Just leading them as much as possible, doing as he says, just trying to speak up and be as much of a leader as I can.
What about you?
Well, I have a lot of classes with most of my teammates, so if they're about to do wrong, I try to help them, tell them coach wouldn't like this, get them away from the situation, and stuff like that.
That's good.
Coach Seal, taking into account the makeup of this year's team, strengths, weaknesses, power, base running. What will be your coaching philosophy, again, based on the strengths and weaknesses of this team? Are you gonna be a running team? Are you strong in pitching, defense, et cetera?
So I have one of the things that I preach, I guess, is as far as a philosophy is I think a team like this, I tell the guys, you know, we're not gonna go out and hit home runs every game or very many home runs at all. We're not gonna score a whole ton of runs. So you gotta do the fundamentals properly, correctly. Baseball's a tricky sport. You know, you gotta do everything a certain way to be successful. But I tell them, you know, if we can do three things, if we can have good plate appearances, swing at strikes, know the count, situational hitting, if you can throw strikes from the mound and you can make the routine plays, we'll be a pretty good baseball team.
Oh, definitely. And you're in a big new district. There, you know, you want to talk about that a little, Coach, or the players?
It's a weird district. I'll say that. It's a very spread out district. Martin County's in our district, which is, you know, over an hour away. We got a couple teams, Palm Beach Gardens and Royal Palm, Seminole Ridge. But I was gonna say, Gardens and Dwyer, they're up on the north part of Palm Beach County. So, you know, it's not really like, in the past, our district has been teams very localized to us, just right around the corner, you know, an exit or two away. So this is gonna require us to travel a good bit more. It's some unfamiliar teams too. We haven't played them a lot in the past. The guys that we've played them, Royal Palm we've played a good bit, and Seminole Ridge, but some of those other guys, we haven't played much.
Right.
To our players, you know, there's a lot of pride involved in being a varsity athlete at a big school like Forest Hill. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like being a Falcon baseball player? The pride, walking through the halls, your fellow classmates, you know, combining your academics and athletics. What's it like to be a Falcon baseball player?
Yeah, everyone, I wouldn't say they look up to us, but everybody looks at you in a different way. They just, you get asked different questions about, like, oh, you have a game today, or how's it going, and teachers treat you differently, and it's just the way you could walk around school. It's just all around different than if you were somebody else.
It feels good walking around, like, representing the baseball team, and it is a lot different, because you make a mistake, and they're like, aren't you on the baseball team? And they run straight to the coach, so you have to do really good at school.
Mm. And how do you handle that pressure, though? Because you have pressure in the classroom, pressure on the field. How do you handle that? Because it's a lot of stress. I mean, and you guys, any
Stay
advice on
focused.
how to,
Just try to stay focused as much as you can.
Yeah, just keep your head down and just keep going.
Right. All right, Coach. So, again, sum it up for us. What can we expect from the Falcons this season?
Hopefully you expect some consistent baseball, some guys playing the game the right way. I'm all about respecting your team, respecting your the opponent, respecting the game of baseball. So hopefully, you know, if you come watch us, you'll get to see some real good baseball.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming out to Media Days and participating, and we wish you the best of luck on the field this year, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank